Security officers at the Open University prevented members of the Federation of University Teachers Associations from entering the university premises to attend an executive working committee meeting today.
The security officers of the Open University informed the lecturers that they were given instructions not to allow anyone into the university.
මෙයා අපගේ මූලික අයිතිවාසිකම් දැඩි ලෙස උල්ලංඝනය කිරීමක් බව පැහැදිලිව කියන්නට ඕනේ.
This clearly violates our fundamental rights. The whole world is blaming the rulers of this country for violating the rights of the people. We want to tell the rulers not to make this country the laughingstock. We wish to tell the Minister of Higher Education not to embarrass the Vice Chancellors. If the lecturers of a country do not have the freedom to speak about their problems, will the people have any freedom?
අනිත් මිනිසුන්ට සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවට නිදහසක් තිබේවිද?
සාමාන්‍ය කීමනක් තිබෙනවා මහ එකා එහෙම කරනකොට පොඩි උන් හිටගෙන ඒක කරනවා කියලා. ඒ වගේම මහ එකාගේ වැඩි පොඩි එකෙක් නොකළොත් එහෙම උන් නොට්ටිගේ පුතාලා කියලාත් කියනවා.
When you look at it, it is not his sons who are doing all this. When the issues can be resolved through discussions, when the deadlines have been given, and at a time we have been told to come to work or stay at home, shouldn't we be discussing this? Should we discuss this with the Ministry of Fisheries? FUTA is not a terrorist organization.
However, the members of the Federation of University Teachers Association were later allowed to enter the Open University premises.
When the former secretary to the Ministry of Education took up his post, he did so at a time when 1/6 of national schools had vacancies for principals, which slots were being filled mostly by those without proper appointments or qualifications. The former secretary to the Education Ministry called for applications through a gazette notification to fill in vacancies existing for 68 school principals from those fulfilling the necessary qualifications and criteria. A program will be launched in the next few months to ensure that everyone has equal access to education. In order to accomplish this, we require principals who are competent and have the proper management skills as well as teachers. If the principal is weak, the school is finished. They have to have the strength and stamina to run a school and, if necessary, even jump over its walls and catch the students.
ඉස්කෝලයක් ගෙනියන්න පණ තියෙන්න ඕන බෑම් තාප් එකෙන් උඩින් පයින්ට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන කරෙන් මේ යනකොට අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන.
The former secretary to the Ministry of Education would have said this, foreseeing that such an act of climbing over walls would be a necessary prerequisite for a school principal once he resigned from his post. According to a decision taken by the former secretary, several suitable individuals were selected through interviews held by the Ministry of Education and appointed by the Public Service Commission as school principals of Vidyaloka College Galle, Amar Surya College in Meepewila, Wembadi Girls High School in Jaffna and Vishaka Vidyalaya in Bandarawila have no choice but to act by the former Education Ministry Secretary's words of climbing over walls. This is due to the fact that these duly appointed school principals have been unable to enter the particular schools since the 31st of May. From this group, the individual appointed to the position of principal at Visakha Vidyalaya Bandarawila on the basis of the marks she obtained at an interview conducted by the Ministry of Education was seen going up to the school today as well, only to turn back at the gate. Today, the Public Service Commission convened to discuss the inaction by the present Secretary to the Ministry of Education regarding the situation being faced by these 4 individuals who have been duly appointed to the post of school principal.
The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka states that the petroleum industry in the country will come under the purview of the Commission from next year. Speaking at a workshop in Colombo today, Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, Dr. Jayatissa De Costa PC, pointed out that the legal framework for this is being finalized.
The Public Utilities Commission, which regulates the electricity sector in the country, is the shadow regulator of the petroleum industry, including the lubricants industry, pending enactment of necessary legislation to fully regulate the industry. The Commission has already introduced standards for lubricant products, and a workshop for players in the lubricants industry was held in Colombo today.
We are not the official regulator for the lubricating industry or lubricants. But I'm glad to inform you that the legislation is almost complete in bringing the entire petroleum sector for regulation under the purview of the Public Utilities Commission. The number of amendments have been proposed to two acts, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Act as well as the Petroleum Product Act. Now it's with the Attorney General's Department. One act, of course, has been completely finalized, the amendments. By next year, the Public Utilities Commission would regulate the entire petroleum sector.
The 15th Deshamani M.A. Bakir Marker Commemoration Lecture organized by the Bakir Marker Center for National Unity was held in Colombo yesterday. The lecture was delivered by the former Director General of the Al Jazeera Network, Wada Khanfar.
The commemorative lecture attracted a large crowd which included many parliamentarians and ministers. Former Director General of the Al Jazeera Network, Wahad Khanfar, delivered the lecture on the topic Arab Awakening, Birth of a New Political Paradigm.
Unfortunately, we in media and many in politics have very short memory, and we have been embedded in immediacy. So we judge, interpret, forecast events based on the latest news item. So therefore I have started to hear recently that the Arab Spring, especially in Western media, the Arab Spring has become an Islamic winter. The Arab Spring has become a sectarian war. The Arab Spring has become this and that. Why? Because yesterday there was a car explosion, the day before yesterday there was a quarrel between politicians, and last week there was something like that. Now, one of the problems of journalism, especially news journalism, that we have minimized history, and we have even sometimes ignored context to an extent that reality has become a puzzle, fragmented, and cannot form a clear picture or roadmap for our politicians or even for our audience. And that is really very serious.
In sports news, members of the Sri Lanka cricket team stated at a press conference held in Colombo today that the Sri Lanka Premier League was a good platform for the upcoming 2020 World Championship.
Good preparation through the SLPL, because most of the guys played in the SLPL, and I think most of them are prepared for the World Cup, because we couldn't train in the past few days because of the rain. But I think most of the guys have been preparing themselves through the SLPL. So I think match practice is also a concern. So I think we've had good match practice, and I think we are ready for the challenge.
We've been playing ODIs for a while, and when coming into a T20 tournament, practice is essential. So playing matches is very important. That is why I feel the SLPL was a great help to all the members of our national team. Actually, we started practice about 2 months ago, and because we played in the SLPL, I think we are well prepared. After the injury, it was good for me to get some match fitness.
Also at the press conference was West Indies captain Darren Sammy, who was questioned about the Sri Lanka Premier League.
And some of your players came over here to play in the SLPL T20 tournament in Sri Lanka. Do you think that would have done them something which they did not have before this?
I think the players who played in this tournament, they were not in the current team. But I think conditions are similar to what we have at home, and we have a few practice games and a few practice sessions before our campaign starts, and we're looking to get used to the conditions as best as we can. So when the 22nd comes, we're ready to face the challenges.
And on to some football news. Sri Lanka defeated Bangladesh today to book their place in the semi-finals of the South Asian Women's Football Championship.
Played at the CRNFC grounds, the game was a high-intensity one right from the kick-off. However, neither team were able to record a goal in the first half. Bangladesh drew first blood late in the second half, scoring in the 79th minute, but the Lankans struck back quickly through Hasara Deurangi, who scored just 4 minutes later. The Lankans kept pressing forward and were rewarded in the 86th minute as Achala Chitrani struck the winner to wrap up the game 2-1. Sri Lanka will join India and Nepal in the semi-finals of the South Asian Women's Football Championships.
For a closer look at any of the stories we had tonight, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Sonali Wanigabadage.
And I'm Ravi Gamge. Thanks for watching. Good night.